Welcome again to this third video series of empowering careers with learning and development insights, the L&D Playbook brought to you by HR Success Talk. Today's topic is about the TNI management alignment and budget allocation. So from this topic onwards, we will straight get down to the business aspect and the hardcore activities of the L&D function. Okay, so before we further move ahead, just wanted to, create one thing with all you people is that especially from these topic onwards, there are a lot of things which are there in my mind which I can share from my experience. But had I gone in a narrative mode, probably it will take a lot of time in explaining a lot of stuff in a haphazard manner. So that's why I thought, as I did in the last session also, to bring more structured approach in my discussion and also to crisply bring about few pointers which I have worked prior to recording this session and bring about the bulleted points. Many of the points which you may correlate, may not correlate. Few points you will find that you will be reckoning with in your day-to-day experiences of your working. Few points could be new to you. So my intent is to bring down all those points in one place in a structured manner so that you can capture the and get the essence of these recordings in a beautiful manner. So you may be finding a bit narrative of my style in going through these videos, and but yes, please hang on and pay more careful attention, take notes, and put forward any queries which you come across later. Okay, so let's first quickly work on this training needs identification. As per the definition and purpose, the training need identification is about identifying skill gaps to enhance employee performance. We all know, and that as an L&D function, your first important key activity is about TNI, or the TNA is also said sometime training needs assessment. So it's about identifying those skills which are required for any individual to function appropriately and in alignment with the KPIs, in alignment with the organizational objectives. But people, when we hire the people, HR, HR hire the people from outside world. They are interviewed based on experience, their qualifications, their education, what they have gone through in their professional studies or colleges. But yes, every organization has different set of requirements in terms of the skills, and that is where even after coming from whatever the renowned colleges or universities or professional educations people are having, every individual, even coming from a wide varieties of experience from the previous company, still employees needs to be trained on the particular processes or a particular skills which is required for that particular organization where they are currently working. And that is where continuously identifying the skill gaps is very crucial, which is a part of the TNI. To keep on the employee abreast with the latest trend of the requirement of the skill set for the continuous growth of the organization. So what are the methods which we generally employ for TNI? So we do the performance appraisals, we do KPIs analysis. 360-degree feedback is again a very important trendy these days, especially when a lot of 360-degree feedback are conducted online, and different raters, be from the peer group or the management group or the subordinate group, they rate the particular individual, and individual also self-rate. And then there is a beautiful report comes out based on which the strengths, weaknesses, developmental areas, blind spots come very clearly in a statistical manner. So 360-degree reports bring about the entire personal, especially into the personal development space. It comes in very, very handy tool for the TNI. We do surveys. We do focused group discussion either with the individual directly or as a tri-party. Tri-party means L&D person sitting along with the manager, reporting manager, and the employee to identify the gaps which are required into the fulfilling the KPIs or the expectations from the employee. And then there's a business strategy alignment, which is about the future skills forecasting based on the directives which management provide, that how management is looking forward to take the organization to the next level of the growth path in the coming years of time, and which new technologies, which new development areas organization is looking ahead to. And based on those projections and the strategy alignment, some futuristic technology or futuristic, or even on the behavior and the leadership development part, employees are being, attuned to those levels of the skill sets. So these are the few quick methods of the TNI based on which, we work out the skill gaps. What are the challenges we face in the TNI? The lack of data-driven insights. So now a lot of apps are coming which are, getting hooked on into the people's, mobiles who are working on a day-to-day basis, capturing their, day-to-day working. But yes, too much of the data can also not be analyzed at the same time. And also very less amount of the data is also not very helpful. So that is where the lack of data-driven insights happens to be one of the key challenges, which are now getting with the advancement of technology and AI-driven approach. This challenge is getting more or less getting plugged in over the period of time. Resistance from employees or the management is one of the key important challenge, which you as an ND professionals, I'm sure you must be facing. That's the one important aspect. And then overemphasis on the immediate skills versus long-term growth. So obviously, organization is looking forward to the immediate results, looking forward to coming from the employees, and that is where the long-term growth is not being looked on an immediate basis, but immediately what is required for the next quarter or next year, that takes a more of a prominence. These are the few quick challenges and what are the solutions for this. So we leverage HR analytics tool for objective assessment. So like the tools which we had mentioned in the last slide, all those tools needs to be leveraged up to the great possible extents. Certainly taking the management and the employee in conjunction. Conduct job task analysis with manager. So along with the manager, and also I will always keep on mentioning that taking employees and taking their management into the loop all the time during your discussions whenever the job task analysis is being done, so that uh, the way you identify the gaps should be alignment with the manager and also with the respective employee. So that once all you three are aligned, then yes, then there is a stamping on it that yes, this is the gap needs to be fulfilled. Use competency mapping for the structure development. I'm sure your HR must be having a great competency mapping, be on the soft skill side or on the hard skill side, that what are the key competencies which are required to fulfill in this role. And those competency mapping has to be very accurate enough. And I believe that every organization keeps on reworking on the competence mapping over the period of time. So these are the quick three things which needs to be adopted to plug in any gap in the TNI. Now, quickly moving on to the management alignment, what does this actually mean? So why it importantly matters? Because training initiatives fail without leaders buy-in, right? So you take initiative, you have that passion to, develop the employees and helping them grow in their careers, learn new skills. But it doesn't, go well with the management or the leadership. That is where it's crucially important that all the initiatives, what you as an N&D function invoke upon or take initiative upon, always keep on taking the management and the leadership buy-in, because eventually the budget for those things, the time and the bandwidth and the efforts required to, conclude all those activities need to have the management and the leadership buy-in, because unless they approve, it won't produce the good result, right? So what are the key strategies to gain alignment? So correct training to the business outcomes from the ROI perspective. So always, so that's why I initiated this talk with that let's come down to the business. So please always associate your trainings to the business outcome, right? Certainly on the hard skills, in the next upcoming videos, we'll talk about the hard skills and the soft skills more in detail. But yes, even if it is hard skills or the soft skills or the behavioral aspect of the leadership development, all those training activities has to have a business outcome. That's what the top management and leadership will always think from the a bit of the ROI perspective. That what is the return we will be getting? Why should we keep this? Why should we put on this kind of investment on the people? Right. So it's actually investment is the word. But yes, sometimes management or the top management, or if it is a promoter-driven organization, then obviously they think of the money being spent, or rather it's an expense, right? So it has to be treated as an investment, and that is where you as an L&D function or as an L&D person, you should be educating or informing rather actually and making making them aware about that what business outcome is associated with this kind of training, right? So involving managers in training design and execution, this is very crucial because eventually when, even if the top management has approved, and then what happens is that because of some important activity going on, managers don't release their staff or, people for, going for the training. And that is where it becomes very tricky situation. So it's always important that whenever you initiate these trainings calendar, always have involve managers so that those alignments is there and there should not be any last moment surprises for you. Share data-driven reports on training impact. So it's very crucial. The more data-driven approach you are, the more better impact you can create, and you can have the hearing for yourself, right? So if you produce more data-driven approach in terms of the graphs, in terms of the ROI, in terms of the numbers, or what is the learning impact for the people. So we'll have some more discussion, detailed discussion about it in the upcoming videos. But these are the few quick strategies to gain alignment with the management. Common pitfalls. What happens is that misalignment between the training goals and business strategy. So in some way or other, this point is anyway covered from the last slide. But yes, as a pitfall, this is a very common pitfall that whenever there's a misalignment between the training goals and the business strategy, then it doesn't work out. Managers seeing L&D as a support function rather than a business enabler. So you guys are yourself responsible to make your position and also your department's or the function position in the eyes of the management as a business enabler, not just any standalone typical support function, right? So people should be looking that when into L&D that yes, these guys actually help us grow the business. These guys help us, as we have discussed in the impact video, in the previous video. People should be looking into you that yes, these are the guys who actually help us grow in our careers as well, right? So that is where that kind of the image needs to be enhanced, needs to be empowered for yourself. And that self empowerment you need to undertake. So please keep on seeing that you should be seen as a business enabler. What are the quick best practices? Regular leadership roundtables to discuss the talent development. So always have involve more and more people in your discussions. More and more people from the top management. So once the CEO level of the people or the director level of the person comes down, and have an address to the respective managers of the employee group that yes, see all the people that yes, he's the L&D manager. He or she is initiating this initiative, and you guys need to support because this is very crucial for the business development and also for the employees, their own well-being, their own learning and their own career enhancement also within the company and even in future for the outside whenever they move out, right? So that is where it's important to keep on having these kinds of the roundtable discussions, involve more and more senior level of the people to get more buy-in, get their endorsement. That is the key message. So managers as mentor and L&D champions. So please do have a great connections with the management level of the people who are holding that team, whom you are intending to take them through the learning development, right? So and also incorporate and those management level of the people also as a party to the learning development journey, thereby they can drop in during the session, they can share some insights. Also after the session they can be acting as a mentor for that particular session. So that is where management also needs to be engaged during the activities, and that is where they feel engaged and they feel the part of the enabler and the L&D champions. So that is where they look upon that yes, because of these initiatives, my team has started looking upon to me. So the moment you have that kind of the buy-in and rapport building with the managers, then the work is almost done. Actually, I would say. So quickly onto the budget allocation because everything involves cost and training. So investment versus the cost mindset. This I already spoke about just few quick minutes back. That training is a long-term strategic investment. It should not be treated as in just an expense part of it. This is rather treated as a investment aspect. And so what could be the budgeting strategies? The prioritize the critical skill development. So you need to prioritize that what are the critical skill areas which are having the first level of the gap. So even if it is on the soft skills or on the hard skills, identify the skill gap and prioritize. And those prioritizations should also be hand in gloves with the management or the leadership team. Blend in-house training with external programs for cost effectiveness. So we'll be talking about those cost effectiveness in the future, upcoming videos as well. But yes, this is where it's important because management is looking into it that since they have somewhere in their mind about this, investment versus cost impact. And that is where when you showcase to them that, yes, you have the internal people who are either promoted as a full-time L&D trainers or maybe as a part-time, they are imparting the knowledge to the new people or to the existing people or into a different domains. People can be made travel to the different geographies of the company so that, people are seeing that, yes, the internal trainers are coming and that is where, you save upon a lot of cost. And that is where the cost effectiveness actually comes as a very handy thing. Leverage technology, LMS, e-learning for scalable solutions. So we will have some more discussion about all these things later on in the later videos also. But invoking upon technology is certainly the call of the day, and especially with the times of the AI, that we have. The whole HR and the L&D domain is filled with a lot of LMS platforms. A lot of good companies are there who are offering LMS platforms. So you can call up if you have large employee base, you can have the LMS platforms implemented in your company. And there are a lot of learning modules which are already embedded in. So leverage technology for scalable solutions. Wherever there is specific requirements, the external or the internal trainers can be called upon. Finally, about the measuring ROI that we have been talking about. So use Kirkpatrick's models for training effectiveness. We'll talk about this particular model in more detail when we go to the right chapter during our coming videos. Measuring ROI is crucial for not only for you but also very important in the management eyes. Track metrics, performance improvement, employee engagement, retention. And that is where when we'll talk about the MIS reports part, we'll talk more detail about that, how you can, work out the MIS or the performance improvement graph so that management has the clear view that whatever the training has been conducted, it has really created some impact in terms of the learning, in terms of the numbers, or in terms of the overall performance, or in terms of the rapport or the environment within the company. So you are the important people to keep hold on the metrics part vis-a-vis the trainings which you have got conducted, right? So cost-saving approaches we have also talked about, but yes, have the internal subject matter expert as trainer and public-private partnerships for the skill development grants, especially for the factory-related environment where the large number of the employees are there. So government has come out with a lot of NSDCs related schemes. The big companies like Infosys, Wipro, and Reliance. And so these have also their learning and development centers where they train a lot of people in the publics, and the funding is also being granted by NSDC and the government initiatives. I think there is something called National Kaushal Development Yojana, something like there. So there are a lot of aspects are there. If you are into that domain, you can utilize those avenues and channels whereby you can train or having the skill development for your employees. Other than that, we will also get into some more discussion related to the journey-based program where at some moment it may feel that yes, it's going to be costing a lot, but when there's a journey-based program, a lot of development happens for the long-term future. So we'll have more discussion about this. So yeah, so that is quickly about the TNI management alignment and the budget allocation part. So I would love to invite some more discussion on these topics, which I have already mentioned during this particular video. We'll have more discussion around some few key important points in the upcoming videos. And so let's take this journey forward. And I hope that you can, I will love that you should actually watch this video 2, 3 times, note down key important pointers, and just throw us feedback. And we look forward to you on the other side. Thank you very much.